With this Joyo amp, you'll be able to play like or and I'm Vinny. Let's check out some gear today. It is December and Christmas is around the corner, and if you have not done your shopping like me, then maybe this Joyo amp will be the right gift for your nephew or someone who is starting out into the electric guitar world. This amp costs about $250 and it packs a punch. Perfect for any beginners who wants to start on the electric guitar. This is because it comes with 9 amp model, which you can save the presets, and Bluetooth connectivity, which you can pump music from your phone to the amplifier, a looper pedal, which is very good for guitar practicing, 6 guitar effects, and best of all, it has a drum machine with built-in tap tempo. On top of that, there is the standard gain, tone, and volume control on the amplifier. But wait, there's more! On the back of the amplifier, you'll find 2 ports that allows you to do direct line-out recording into your iOS or your Android system. You can also line out into a mixer, maybe a front of house, and it allows you to connect to a foot switch, which you can recall your presets from this foot switch. Best part, it has a built-in battery that can last for hours of playing without you having to plug into a wall plug. And as you can tell, it is not plugged into any power supply right now. It is solely powered on its own battery, and I can turn on the drum machine. It wouldn't be realistic to mic this with a traditional microphone to amp technique, because if you look carefully, it actually has a woofer speaker and a tweeter speaker as well as a sound hole. Joyo has carefully designed this speaker system so that it will sound good no matter what volume you're playing it at, which makes it perfect for late night bedroom playing. Now here's the disclaimer. I know it does sound a little bit like I'm paid and sponsored to talk good about this amplifier. Joyo did send me the amplifier, but they didn't tell me what to say. I'm free to say whatever good or whatever bad in this video. In fact, I'm gonna do a comparison in the later part of this video, so do watch till the very end. Right, without further ado, let's jump into the amp demonstration. I will be recording with the line out function directly into my phone, so you can hear just how capable this line out function is. As you can tell, if I were to go through every single combination in this amplifier, it will take forever. So what I'm going to try to do is to be as helpful as I can and go through as many settings that will be commonly used. What I'm doing is I'm recording it out directly from the Android line out into an Android phone sitting right above the amplifier right now, and you are hearing it directly from the line out system. Let's turn on the amp. The first thing you notice is that it kind of like creeped in on you, right? It didn't turn on, the sound didn't come on the moment I switched on the amplifier. And you'll be right to think that, wait a minute Vinny, isn't this a solid state amp? Only tube amp will do this fade-in sound thing. Right, you'd be right, but I think what is happening here is that this may look like a regular amplifier. It has a huge processing, big powering computer inside this thing that's processing all the sound. And just like HX Storm, if you turn on your HX Storm, you realize it needs to boot up. So this thing is actually booting up and your sound will not come out right away. I did check with Joyo by emailing them and say, hey, is this secretly a tube amp? I really wish this is secretly a tube amp, but it is not. It is just because the system needs to boot up, and when it comes in, they program it in a way whereby instead of just forcing the sound on you, scaring you out, they fade it in, which is a nice touch if you think about it. So again, the sound that you're about to hear is lined out directly from the amplifier into a phone, straight into a phone. There's no need for microphone or anything like that. So I'm gonna start with the acoustic setup, and I'm gonna make sure that everything else is set to 0. And to make it more acoustic sounding, I'm gonna use the middle pickup, the single coil, and this is how it sounds like. what about some fingerstyle? Sorry, I can't help it. I've been playing this to my kid all day long. Right, moving on. Let's move on to JC Clean. It's Roland Jazz Chorus. Everyone know that famous amplifier, right? That solid state amplifier. And I think since that is a solid state amplifier, this is a solid state amplifier. I should be able to replicate the sound pretty closely. Let's have a listen. Let me set it to my neck pickup, and let me try to make it more bearable. There we go. Okay, let's have a listen if it does sound like the Roland Jazz Chorus. I think it's pretty sweet sounding. I really like it. And if you know the jazz chorus, it also famously promotes the use of chorus, built-in chorus. And this amplifier, what you know, there is a chorus. I'm gonna turn up the chorus, and at the same time I'm gonna dial in some reverb to make it a little spacious, and let's see how it goes. I think it does a very good job in getting that jazz chorus sound. And how do I describe the jazz chorus sound? Well, okay, what I'm gonna do is to move on to the next patch anyway. And now this is the clean sound, and you can tell for yourself if it does have a difference between the clean and the jazz chorus. This is how it sounds like clean. It kind of like lose that warmth. Let's go back to jazz chorus. Yeah, so I guess it depends on situation, because if I were to play some funky music, jazz chorus maybe will not stand out as much because of the way it boosts its mid tone, less of the treble, despite you having your EQ pointing more to the treble side. So I've switched it to clean sound. Let's hear if it sounds good with funky kind of strumming on the clean setting. It does sound good, right? It does, I think so. Moving on, we have the overdrive channel. Don't quote me on this, but I think this is something that John Mayer would do on the guitar. Let's have a listen. I think it has this very sweet overdrive sound. Yeah, I agree, right? You agree, I mean. Let's move on to blues channel. It has this very bright and gritty sound that does really well if you are playing any kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan tune. So you've got that Stevie Ray Vaughan and John Mayer covered. What else can you ask for, right? Well, we have the crunch channel next. The crunch channel is modeled pretty much after the MI Audio crunch channel, which is very famous. I remember everyone wants that pedal, the red MI Audio crunch pedal. And well, they have incorporated this into the amplifier, and I think it does a pretty fine job. Let's have a listen. I'm on a bridge pickup, by the way, and I'm gonna play some power chords. Right, moving on, let's go to the lead channel. Typically in lead channel, I will add some kind of reverb to make it less dry. And let's have a listen. What can we come up with? insane. Insane, and it's really loud. Oh my goodness. I mean, the amp is just right next to my ears. Right, next we have rhythm. You know, funny story. When I first started out guitar, I was told if you are a rhythm guitarist, you cannot play lead. If you're a lead guitarist, you cannot play rhythm. We are two separate beings and they cannot mix. If you find this familiar, please take this as a joke. We should learn everything. Alright, so rhythm usually talk about, if they put it on the amplifier, I would assume they talk about something that's less of a gain, more of a crunch. So it's somewhere in the crunch channel and the blues channel, around there. Let's have a listen what it can produce. Finally, the M channel that everyone has been waiting for, metal. Alright, let's go. I'm not impressed. I'm not inspired or impressed by the metal channel. Fine, let me try to play something that will represent this metal channel best. Let's go through the effects on the amplifier very quickly. We have chorus. Flanger. We have phaser. And that's your tremolo. So then after that we can also have some delay. Let me just do something short, or you can do a really short delay like this, or a really long delay. And then we have our reverb, little reverb, more reverb, like you're in a drain. So like I say, the only complaint I have is that you cannot stack all this four in over each other. You cannot stack them. You cannot stack the delay and the reverb at the same time. There's no way you can do that, but you can do a chorus plus a reverb or delay, etc., that kind of combination. And then of course we have the drum machine. It's very straightforward to use the drum machine. You press the knob here, press the turn on and off, and it comes on. You can control the volume of the drum machine so it doesn't overpower your guitar playing, and then you can tap tempo to whatever speed you want. Wait, that's pretty much the same speed, right? Anyway, so I'm gonna try to also incorporate the looper pedal here to show you how you can use the looper pedal. Which one is it? Oh, it's on the left side. Okay, my left side. And try to incorporate some kind of recording using the drum machine and the looper pedal. I'm going to show you how it works. To start the recording of the looper pedal, just hit once while you're playing. When you press it one more time, you turn green. That's when When you press it one more time, it will turn green. That is to tell you that I'm looping right now. If you want to add another layer over it, you can. To stop it, you double click it. To be fair, I'm using my hand and I'm not playing it. It's a little unusual for me to do it like this. I'm not Mr. Steve Vai who can play with just the left hand. So yes, that is how you do it. And oh, to delete it right now, that I have two layers. There are two options. I can delete the last layer or I can delete everything together. So to delete the last layer, you have to play. So that blinks is to tell you that I've deleted the very last layer, very last track. And now I want to delete everything, right? I have to press double and then hold it. See that? So you press 2 times and then after, on the second time you press and hold, it will flash. Now there's nothing inside. So if I hit one more time, it will turn red because there's nothing inside and it will start recording. There we go. And then press one more time, it turn green. And press one more time, it will stop. Oh, sorry, it turned back to red. It's recording. Double click. Right. There we go. Here's the thing I found out about the looper pedal and the drum machine. It does not sync. Unlike the Boss RC3 or equivalent pedal, they do sync the drum machine to whatever you're recording. They will have an automated timing to match up to your. The drum machine will have an automated system that sends your timing and match up to your track. This one does not. And when you play back, it can play back in any timing. Let me try to do a quick demonstration regarding this issue. Let me try to play the same thing again. Let me do a quick demonstration regarding this issue. It's a little annoying, but bear in mind this is a very cheap amplifier with a lot of function packed into one. And of course, things I don't have to mention are like the Bluetooth connectivity, the line in, the earphone out, etc. I just realized it's not focusing on this little pedal here all this time. So the last thing I'm going to demonstrate is how the preset works. So imagine you have set everything nicely and you like this sound. You say, let's save this as a preset. You can press and hold this foot switch here, or I can press and hold this button here. I'm just going to press it here. It's going to blink. Once it's done, it's telling you that, hey, I am now in the preset. I saved your preset, and you can now click this foot switch here to go to a next preset, or rather the one that will not be saved even if you switch off your amplifier. So there we go. We have two sound. I have the clean sound. Notice that effects in the space all shift at the same time. So that's how the preset work, effectively giving you two channels to play with in a very budget amplifier. Some of the things that's less obvious to beginners are like the inbuilt gate function that you cannot control. Let's have a listen at how the gate works. You hear that fade off? Let's try again. Let's try a double note. This is very effective and very useful if you have a very noisy guitar like a single coil or a very badly ungrounded guitar, and it will come in handy. A lot of beginners' guitar are very noisy because of the cheaper electronic used. So this will definitely make them feel more inspired to want to play more because it's not that noisy, it's not that annoying, and it's definitely a very good thing that Joyo has incorporated into the amplifier. Right, so what are the pros and cons of this amplifier? Well, I've written out a list. Let me just go through them with you. Let's start with the pros of this amplifier. Definitely, it has that 9 very usable presets. I really absolutely love the sound that comes out of pretty much every of the presets. And then it has 6 built-in effects that goes with chorus, flanger, phase, tremolo, delay, and reverb, and I absolutely like them. It also has a drum machine with tap tempo and definitely the looper function. But this amp is not all pros. There are definitely a lot of cons, and in fact, let me read out my list of cons about this amplifier. The tone is just a one-band tone. As you can tell, there's only one knob to this tone, and this means that you cannot actually tweak your sound perfectly. Next up is the preset that I don't like, is that it only allows you to save one preset. Well, it does allow you to save everything as one preset. There's just one setting that you can save. So the workaround is that you can have one setting that's dialed in at the moment, save it, and then you go to the next setting. But the next setting will never be saved. The next problem that I found is that the effects, you cannot stack or layer multiple effects together. We do quite often stack delay and reverb at the same time, but because they fall into the same space dial here, it means that there's just no way you can set the delay and the reverb on at the same time. The next problem is the drum machine. While there are a lot of drum patterns that you can choose from, it does not show you what drum pattern you're on. And here's the thing, this is a digital amplifier, so if I leave this knob here, it doesn't mean that the next time around when I switch it back on, it goes back to, say, preset number 8. It doesn't. It goes back to preset number 1, and you do not know where is 8 unless you physically remember and turn it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you go back to effects drum pattern number 8. So an LED panel here showing numbers will be very useful for us to see just which drum pattern we are currently at. And speaking of LED number panel, it will also be very useful if the LED number panel can show us what tempo we are at. Which brings me to the next problem. I mean, this amp is designed for a beginner to use, and most of the time my students do sit for exams. And when they do so, they are required to play at, say, maybe 90 beat per minute or 80 beat per minute. I can't just go tap tempo and roughly say, okay, right now we are about 90. We can't just do that because the students are usually less flexible when it comes to speed, and we want them to play at the exact 90 beat per minute, for example, every single time. There is no preset in all the various fancy drum patterns as a metronome, a simple metronome clicking sound. There's just none of it there. And also the tap tempo do have a very limited speed range. Let me demonstrate. For example, it is currently at the slowest it can go, and it's about this. If I try to go any slower, it will reject whatever I'm tapping and ignore it. The last thing that I hope for in the drum machine is a tiny little dial so I can dial in the right speed just by dialing. On the topic of a beginner amplifier, I was hoping that this thing will come with a built-in tuner that is especially helpful for guitar students. Come on, Vinny, this is a beginner amplifier at $250. Your Mesa Boogie sitting there don't even have a drum machine. And you'll be right, I'm actually in love with this amplifier because it sounds so good. And I have many amplifiers in my room for my students to choose from when they come for lessons, but it seems like this has become their go-to amplifier. So what is included in this package? Well, you have your amplifier, obviously the Joyo DC15S, and well, you also have the foot switch, the very cute and nice foot switch that controls your preset and your looper. They also very kindly included the cable, the stereo 1/4 inch cable that is required to control and to connect the foot switch to the back of the amplifier. And of course, very generously, they provided this very long audio cable so that you can plug from the amplifier directly to your phone. The long length also means that you can put your phone camera far away from wherever you want to go. Thank you for watching to the end of the video, and because you do so, I'm gonna share with you a secret about this amplifier. Joyo actually incorporated a gate and a compressor in this amplifier. You don't see any dials here, nor can you find any switches anywhere in the amp. It is built in, it is set in the factory, and there's no way you can tweak it. I did verify this with Joyo. They said yes, there is a compressor and a gate, and it is controlled by the program when they set it in the factory. And because of this compressor and gate, I was able to do the demonstration as influenced by the Japanese guitarist Ichika Nito. So if you are a beginner looking for an amplifier this Christmas, or if you're buying this for your niece, your nephew, or your child, as a guitar teacher, I highly recommend this Joyo DC15S. The number one reason is definitely the line-up function. It allows people to record directly from the amplifier to their phone so that they can upload it to social media or do some live streaming. Or, even seasoned musician, I can see a lot of potential in this amplifier. And do remember the YouTube drill of like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'm Vinny, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.